the third year and counting, Richard Skipper has been celebrating the artists you love.
And what are some of the things that you've really
run out of time, and we've got to talk about your latest. I want to go back a little bit, first of all, and celebrate a true legend.
Richard Skipper is all about celebrating life, art, and his guest body of work.
And did you pursue performing opportunities while you were in high school?
Please join us while he showcases these diverse and talented individuals. Here's Richard Skipper.
Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of Richard Skipper Celebrates. Today, of course, is my wrap-up show, and this is where I wrap up the week with a few friends. And today, this is a very special show because I reached out to a few friends who mean a lot to me because the word of the day is family. So those of you who are watching, just to let you know, the best way to watch this is through YouTube. And the reason for that is if you were watching through Facebook, which we appreciate it when you do watch through Facebook. However, because the way Facebook is set up, your privacy settings sometimes precludes you from being able to leave comments that I am able to see sometimes, especially if you are set for only certain people to see those comments. We know how that goes because all of us are afraid that certain people are going to see certain things. It's the craziness of this world we live in. So again, the best way to watch this is through YouTube. Leave a comment with I'm going to change this because faith was the word of yesterday, although it's a good word. And the word for today is family. So I'm going to show you how this works. I'm changing this. And that's the magic of show business. And I've got several people waiting in the wings. They never know when I may bring them on. But I'm going to bring on a very special gentleman right here. And this is David Zimmerman. See, you never know when I'm going to bring you on. So be prepared. David Zimmerman has his own live stream show called Meet the Biz. And he has had some of the greatest people in show business on his show. I know because I'm one of them. Which was a great honor when he reached out to me. And he's also been on this show. So I consider you family, even though we've never physically met. In this business, I think it's important that we hold each other up. We hold each other accountable. And I also love the fact that you celebrate people of all walks of life in this business. And you celebrate people that a lot of people don't necessarily celebrate. And I applaud you for that. So welcome. And under the umbrella of Richard Skipper Celebrates, who or what are you celebrating today?
Oh, I did that, and I thought first thing that came to mind is the breath in this moment. Who am I celebrating right now? Right now, for Auntie Angel comes to mind. She was an amazing friend to so many, a powerful singer, dancer, actress, and a dear friend. And she passed away this last week. So at this moment, that's what came to my mind, celebrating Auntie, because she was phenomenal. I even printed out a picture of her that she had done herself years ago. And where is it here? I think there it is.
Wow.
So she was like a sister from another mother. And I love that your hashtag of the day is family, because family, Auntie was family, and now that she's flying to a different realm, she is still family, and I think she's working. She keeps working and dancing from the other side, as my dear friend Angela Rockwood says. She's sending her loving, healing vibes to all of us. So, anyway, so I am celebrating I am celebrating family. I'm celebrating the family who is still here on this plane and celebrating the family who has gone on.
Well, a few years ago, when my dear friend, to drop a name, Carol Channing, passed on, I was lucky enough to be at her memorial. This was before COVID hit and everything else changed the world.
Yeah.
And Tyne Daly spoke at her memorial, and Tyne said something that hit me right here. And she said, always think of her as being in the next room. And when you think of her as being in the next room. And a lot of the past 2 years now and going on, we've had to do that a lot with a lot of people in our lives, where we're not physically with them. We're thinking about them being away from us. And I know that you also, within the last, I think just before COVID, if I'm not mistaken, you relocated to be closer to your mom. Am I correct?
I did, which has been such a blessing. I mean, that was a blessing in this crazy thing called COVID, that I got to move up north to the San Francisco Bay Area, and now I'm with mom, and that was a celebration. This week I am celebrating blood family because it's my mom's birthday this week. So, it's interesting how life is, there's just so many levels. I mean, it's been up and down this last week, but we just keep going. We just keep going. We just keep. The word that comes to mind now is loving. We got to have that love going out. In fact, I wore this today. That I got this at a gifting suite at one of the Oscars giving suite. I was the date of Miss Jerry Jewell. And
God,
I know. Oh, talk about family.
Text her, bring her on, give her the link, and we'll get her on the show.
I know. Let's say, come on, Jerry.
Can you send her the link and see if she'll come on and join us?
Oh no, she's got to. She's not gonna just. I could, but
no, knowing Jerry, she would. I love Jerry.
Maybe I'll call her up.
Call her and see if she'll come on. I absolutely love Jerry. Talk about she's an angel among us.
Oh my God, yes.
I just love Jerry. And if not now, I would love to have her on the show anytime.
Well, I will let her know that my phone's. I turned off the phone, so.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll bring on our next guest. So
okay.
That'll give you time to do that. I want to bring on someone that I have not seen in quite a while. Because COVID, but she probably, out of all the guests that will be on today, she happens to be my oldest friend, and she knows who I'm going to bring on because that's my friend Christine. Christine and I, we met, if I'm not mistaken, Christine.
Yeah.
On The Cat in the Castle.
Yes.
Yes, which was an off Broadway show. I did the wonderful music of Bill Solly. But Christine, I played Hamwich, Cat Catcher, children's theater.
That's not kosher.
No, and he wore green tights and his like Robin Hood, Peter Pan kind of costume.
But I stole the show every time I walked out in those tights. But Christine was our musical director, and Christine was the greatest thing about that production because we've remained friends all this time. We've done stock together. We have traveled together. We have done so many things together. And Christine, we've been through ups and downs together. You've been through all kinds of things together. But Christine, luckily, in the midst of all this craziness, was working a lot. And then COVID hit. And then you lost a lot of work. And I also want to say that Christine's husband is a phenomenal opera singer. And he is it tonight or this week that he is performing at Carnegie Hall?
Oh, last Saturday
night.
Mm-hmm.
And, but Christine just got back from performing where did this last ship take you, Christine?
Caribbean, and it was a production of Kinky Boots that I did on the Norwegian Encore. And that was like super cool. And I mean, they called me on about 4 days notice, and I was emailed my part book and the full piano vocal score with all the cuts pre-marked, and I killed myself practicing, watching the London cast production of the show on Broadway HD, and I had the cast album already, so I listened to that, and packed like a maniac, flew to Miami very early on the morning of January 23rd. And well, we all had, and they were really great about taking COVID precautions. I mean, we all had
Did you have any?
we all had to have PCR tests at least no more than 72 hours before leaving, and we had to turn in hard copies of our test results. And still, we were all tested the day that we signed on, and we were put all the new crew members, including me, all of us were put into quarantine for a week in these isolation cabins that were normally guest cabins, but they were interior. And there weren't enough guests to. There weren't a lot of guests. I mean, we weren't at capacity, not then. So they had enough space for all of us being quarantined, and we were fed 3 times a day. And otherwise, I looked over my music, slept a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it felt very much like a working vacation for you.
Well, yes and no. I mean, we still had to wear masks everywhere on the ship, except in our cabins, and except when we were eating. And when we were finally allowed to go out into port, I mean, for a while we were restricted from that. And then February 10th, they lifted that restriction, and we were able to go out into port. 5 days after my birthday, and yeah.
Aquarians here.
Yeah, so I went into Tortola, which I'd been to before a long time ago in British Virgin Islands, and I had iced coffee, free Wi-Fi, whatever. And the thing is, like, even when we were allowed to go out into port, we could only stay within like a walking distance from the ship and from the cruise terminal, and we couldn't take any public transportation.
Well, I want to ask you, Christine, because I know that you had worked a lot before you got this call. I mean, when everything shut down, as with everyone, you lost a lot of work.
Yeah.
So when you get this call and you've got to make a decision very quickly, especially going on a cruise ship, which a lot of people have a lot of trepidation about doing right now. Were you, there's your opera singer husband in the room.
Yeah.
Daniel, pop in for a moment.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll call you back.
Yes.
Well,
No,
he's dealing with some.
he's a contract negotiation right now, I'm sure. But I want to ask you: did you have any concerns at all about going on the road again, or on the sea?
No, not at all.
You were ready to go.
I was ready. I was raring to go. I was so going crazy at home. I mean, if it wasn't for Dan and for the internet, I would have gone completely out of my mind.
Okay.
Binge watch my way through way too many TV shows and movies. The usual.
Hi.
This is Daniel. This is a surprise. Daniel. So Daniel, you also opera singer extraordinaire. You performed last Saturday night at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
What was the experience like being at Carnegie Hall again? You have also had not been working for a while.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden the floodgates are opening for you. Yeah. You're getting a lot of work again.
Oh, it was wonderful there. I mean, I was on the stage there and the voice just, flies there. And it was a wonderful feeling to, be back to performing and being able to going in the dressing room, getting ready to sing, and having the idea that you have that singing, you're going to do that as your work instead of just being at home and trying to study and trying to concentrate. And we didn't really do that much studying because the whole idea is that it's wonderful to have a goal to go to. And this is having this experience. I was able to learn these pieces, and it was for a goal. So, that was a great thing to have something to do for an endpoint, for a goal.
So what was the piece that you performed at Carnegie Hall?
I did a piece called the Marc-André Boucher. Was a requiem. The requiem from the Verdi Requiem. The words from that. Benedictus qui venit. And
it's a Catholic mass for the dead, and it's in Latin.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I did the Vaughan Williams, beautiful. Richard, the Vaughan Williams Serenade for Music has baritone and soprano and tenor. Beautiful piece by Ralph.
And you did all three parts?
And I just I did the soprano, and I just said, and I did the end. It's a very beautiful. I had done the Songs of Travel many years ago, and this is another piece I didn't even know about, and it's a gorgeous piece, and mainly for chorus. Very interesting.
Wow.
A little bit of solo, but mostly for chorus.
So what's next for you, Daniel? What's next?
And then I had what's next for me? Now I'm going to do Tosca, Richard, in June in Las Vegas.
Wow.
The Scarpia, which I had inadvertently pre-COVID that I had that.
What is very exciting about this production, David, is it's going to be a completely topless production in Vegas. Yes.
No, it's completely without any clothes on. So this is
Get your tickets now.
Yes, get your tickets now. So when, where, and where is this going to be done in Vegas?
This is going to be done at one of the colleges there, the university there of Las Vegas,
wonderful.
at the school there, and they have quite a nice opera there organization.
Yeah.
So we'll do 2 performances of that. And then after that, I had luckily the guy who had hired me for Rigoletto, it was canceled because of COVID, they're doing the Traviata. So I was able to get into that. So I have something in July. And then after that, it's anyone's guess.
Wow. Well, good. Well, we are hearing rumblings about this next variant. So let's hope that stays at bay.
Well, I think what's happening now, they said Fauci was saying he doesn't think possibly maybe that there'll be another uptick. So maybe that'll be good then.
I hope not.
That's what he was saying. But
well, thank you. I want to bring on our next guest, who's waiting patiently in the wings. Another family member. I'm going to bring her on because it's all about family today. Lisa is actually going to, as soon as today's show, she's jumping on a car to come here because she's coming with me and Danny, my husband, into the city tonight because Lisa was very, very close with our dear friend Peggy as well, who passed away.
Yeah.
And so
we all love Peggy.
Yes.
So on this journey that we've all been on together with Peggy, as a matter of fact, Lisa was with Peggy just 2 weeks before Peggy passed away. Peggy was a big fan of Joe Piscopo. And Joe Piscopo was a big fan of Peggy's.
Oh, wow. How interesting.
So, let me tell you a little bit about Peggy, and then I'll let Lisa, and I'll be quiet and let Lisa talk. Peggy, for David, who doesn't know, and for those who weren't watching who don't know, Peggy was born blind, and she would have been 77 this year if she died suddenly. And I spoke with her the night before. She sounded fine. We still don't know what she died of. It was so sudden. But Peggy was full of life, and the last thing that she ever wanted to be called was handicapped. She lived life to the fullest. She jumped out of planes. She called herself the chocolate diva. She was also a phenomenal singer. She was Leontine Price was a mentor of hers.
Oh, wow.
She studied and worked with some of the greatest singers in the business.
Wow.
She lived life to the fullest. She went to see Joe Piscopo. He knew that she was in the audience, brought her up on stage, and she was dancing up a storm with him. There was no stopping her. And so tonight we're going to toast her and to, as I'm saying, release her soul from.
I think, Richard, I don't think that there was a mean bone in her body.
No.
She was a incredible person that way. Just one of those nicest persons that you could ever meet. That's
Absolutely.
what I miss about. We had also Yoria of the studios passed. She was also she was one of the members. She ran the studio on 72nd Street. You remember the one
Yes.
briefly. I don't know if you know. Maybe they don't know, but she's similar to that. Peggy was a special person.
Yeah.
And she always loved everybody. And
But
yeah.
Lisa and I want to, talk about Lisa for a moment. Lisa and I were co-host on a radio program a while ago.
I'll see you later.
See you later. Thank you for
See you later.
Nice
Sure.
to meet you.
Nice to talk to you, Richard.
You gotta get to Vegas.
Yes. And
An excuse to see you, Richard. I'll see you
too.
later.
We'll see each other soon, I hope. And Lisa
Yeah.
also is a teacher. And Lisa, I want to talk about the work. I mean, you've been with this roller coaster ride with students through COVID of mask on, mask off, zooming in and out, remote classes, not doing classes. What has been the emotional toll that this has had on you, in the school system for the last 2 years?
Well, I mean, what emotionally, and I can speak for all of the teachers that I worked with, it was what we were first told is prepare for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks turned into, well, maybe the end of the school year. And then are we coming back next September? And then there was hybrid and, alternate cohorts. And it was really trial by fire. Teachers had to learn a new way of teaching and upon immediacy. Thankfully, because of my theater background, I know how to be entertaining in front of a camera. And that was really necessary because kids just started to tune out because it was just this, face in front of them. And I laugh at the amusement now, but there was one young man and he was special needs. And I see him. Kevin. Yes. Kevin, are you listening to music? Yes. Kevin, can you stop listening to music and please listen to me? Okay. So it was a whole new way, a whole new experience. We're still feeling the fallout from it. Be rest assured, we are feeling the fallout. Kids stopped knowing how to socialize. They stopped knowing how to interact with people and have social skills. So that is a fallout of the pandemic that nobody really talks about.
Well, I want to ask you, David, with the work that you're doing, you have been able to embrace this medium with the work that you're doing, and especially now that you're not in LA and being at a distance from LA right now, you're still able to maintain everything that you're doing and with no real lag in terms of your communication.
Well, it was great listening to what's going on with you, Lisa, because I teach at Performing Arts Studio West, and we have over 100 students with disabilities. And we've somehow in like 2 weeks, we got together as a staff online, and we had the dance class, we had the singing class, we had all this, put it together, and it's really been a blessing that we could do all this. And then plus I do the regular acting classes as well as the advanced acting classes, and then the Meet the Biz classes where we interview people. But what I found out, it is very difficult for a lot of people, a lot of the students, because we all want to like hug, and have that connection rather than this screen in front of us. And at the same time, there are so many students who have been, the growth has been amazing, and the subtleties, and you can see it's like, oh my gosh, they're really grabbing it and taking it. And thank goodness, cross fingers, that we're going to do a slow open in May. So, if not, nothing crazy happens.
Well, what I can tell you, if I may jump in.
Will you be commuting back and forth?
No, yes, maybe once a month I'm going to go, but otherwise they're going to have both in classes and online. So I'm still going to be the online teacher, since I'm, in a different city.
I'm sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
No, I was just going to share that I'm actually directing for the first time the school show.
Oh.
I've never crossed my lives this way. So somebody said to me, the spring musical's coming up. Yes. Why don't you put your hat in? I was like, all right, I guess. And the principal was very generous and said, okay, what show would you like to do? And I said, Addams Family. And well, his eyes popped open. He was so excited because I did not say a Disney show. So he was very excited. But I've always had the reputation of edginess. So, but
is this going to be live or on Zoom?
No, it's live. It is live. We are going up in May. The first day of auditions, we had over 50 kids show up.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Second day of auditions, we had another 30. So when I tell you these kids were just dying to do something, they want to do theater, they want to perform and express themselves. And I am having such a wonderful time with these kids and giving them, it's not just another school show. I'm actually imparting a lot of knowledge and theater etiquette and giving them background, and they're so excited to learn everything, and it's such a joy to watch. And I leave every day, I'm exhausted, but I'm elated at the same time. And every day I leave and I say to myself, this is what we as a society need. We need this interaction. We need the performing arts. The performing arts are so important in the school systems. They are so important. The skills that I got as a kid learning theater are skills that I still use today. And you all tell me the same thing. If you've been on a job interview, did you know how to bat a ball or did you know how to improv?
A little bit of both, I think. That's great. Well, one of the things that I do on my Friday wrap-up show is I've got some random questions that I just throw out at you, just for the fun of it, just to keep us on our toes and just to take a deep breath and decompress for the week, as I call it. And I'm going to start with you, David, and I'm going to ask you, what is the most outstanding example of wealth that you have seen this week? And I'm not talking about monetary wealth. I'm talking about generosity that you have seen someone give to someone else within this business this week.
Oh, within this business this week. Wealth, generosity. It goes to a personal thing in the sense of the Performing Arts Studio West and how the John Paces is the owner and founder of it, and he has given so much, especially over, I think they've been open now 23, 24 years, but he has given so much love and has kept this program thriving even through the pandemic. So, that is one of the two main things that I'm seeing, that just how this family, this group, keep together and keep breathing, so to say, and bringing in outsiders to join into the family. So that's what's of all types. And the other thing is, if we're going to the internet as well, just the outpouring of love back again for those people who have left us, like Auntie. Just the connection, and the love and support, even online, how important that has been, to reach out any way we can to those who we love, and that I have seen a lot of. So yeah.
That's great. I love that. Christine,
Yes.
what was the biggest upset that you encountered this week, and how did you get through it?
Biggest upset that I've encountered this week.
Yes.
Oh boy. I don't know. This week was pretty mild.
Well, that's good.
Except I had to I think probably the biggest upset was having to repeat this one small part of this multi-part physical that I had to take for my next contract. And nobody could explain to me why this was or what happened, but I just did it, and
You got through it?
yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. But it's still, very puzzling to me. And I was assured, oh, it's nothing to worry about. It's probably just a mistake. It's we just want to make sure.
But you got through it.
Yeah.
That's good. Lisa, a TV series or a movie that you saw this week that you highly recommend?
Well, I'm rewatching it, but The Spanish Princess. I adore all of the stories of the Tudors, and it's, to me, so amazing watching the history and how it unfolded and the background. Catherine of Aragon was one sharp lady, and maybe I'm a little I didn't know she was the daughter of Queen Isabella, so she came from.
What's really interesting is my next project is Six the Musical, which is about the Tudor Queen.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Wow. David, what is the nicest thing that anyone said to you this week?
I love you.
And who said it?
My mom.
Oh, that's nice.
It was her birthday this week, and we had a lovely celebration. I would say the glorious number, and she would slap me if I said it, so I won't.
Happy birthday, Mom. What's your name?
Yeah. What?
What's her name?
Leah.
Happy birthday, Leah. Happy birthday.
Princess Leah.
Princess Leah. Good for her. Christine,
yeah.
What are the circumstances in which you most resist change in your life? And maybe it's doing physicals twice.
Well, it was just that one part of the physical, one small part.
But are there circumstances that you resist change?
Well, I've had to learn how to be flexible in my work and in ship life. The best way to survive is to be as flexible as possible, because things always change.
Mm-hmm.
Dates of your contract, your room, your everything. And like sometimes they'll cancel ports at the last minute due to bad weather or other issues.
Wow.
But I've like I said, I've learned how to be flexible. I mean, for me, the most difficult way to deal with change, probably, this past year, I lost too many friends, including, I lost one of my first cousins, and also, and I've known him since he was born.
Wow.
And that was a shocker and a half. And losing my best friend in January of 2021, I found out
Sorry.
it was COVID related heart attack.
Mm.
And I was like, I'm still not over it. I think that was a change. I think that was the worst change to deal with.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry that you went all through that.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You too.
Lisa, when were you most disappointed in yourself in your career, and how did you get through it?
Wow. Well, full disclosure, I allowed my former husband to basically talk me out of my dream and stop pursuing a career in theater because he didn't want me to. He was very controlling, and I was very angry at myself for caving. And how did I get through it? It has been a journey to forgive myself. And I'm a very devout Christian. And one thing that's been said to me is, if God forgives you, then you can forgive yourself, because you can't outdo God. He always gets the last word.
Okay. Good for you. Good for you. David, I pulled, this is from this daily calendar that I have on my desk. And I pulled this, and this is actually from January that I saved this. And it said, when something is taken away from me, it makes me appreciate what remains even more. And it was a self-love action. If something has been taken away from my life lately, whether it's a physical object that's broken, a relationship that's ended, or a career opportunity that fell through, let me savor what's left and find now the appreciation for it even more. And that has resonated for me. I'd like you to mention something. Well, maybe it's even your friend that was just taken from you. And I'm sure that you appreciate those moments even more now. But the appreciation for something that's no longer physically there, and what that means to you. If you can just elaborate a little bit on that.
It's interesting too, because like you said, Christine, so many people that you have known have passed over the last 2 years. And how do we center ourselves? How do we continue? Or at least that's what I say to myself. How do I continue? But we keep going. And one of the things that I've done, and I don't know if I'm answering your question or not, but I'm just going with this flow, that I have woken up every morning to take care of myself, put on my jacket, my hat, and in the early morning, take a walk around the park that's down the street, to hear those morning birds. It's one of my favorite sound.
That's me every morning. Yes.
And then the dogs that are running, everybody's walking their dogs. There's this cool breeze. And I feel the people who have passed, like my uncle 6 months ago. And I feel Auntie, and I feel the people who aren't here. And whether they're talking to me in my head or whether it's a sign from them, I get little feelings that they're still with me. And they help me move forward. And they still enrich my life through the moments. Like right now, I'm hearing a bird outside the window. And it's like, is that you, Uncle Ben?
I love it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Just a little hello. So, because I know there's so many people on this plane still that are family, that are still breathing and living on this plane. So accepting and moving forward, growing and continuing to give and receive.
That is so beautiful. And thank you for that. That is exactly what I wanted. That's wonderful. Christine,
Yes.
one of the things that I have read, and I don't know about you, but this is something I've been experiencing. They say that a lot of people during COVID have been having recurring dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, are you having recurring dreams? And
No.
if so, you're not. So
No.
is anyone here having recurring dreams? Anyone?
No, I was thinking about recurring dreams, but the only, I was thinking, could it be a date that I had in the dream? But the only person I'm dating right now is Siri.
Have you seen the movie Jexy?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh my God. Everybody, you have to see Jexy. When the first time I saw it, I laughed so much in the theater, I thought I was going to pass out. And he gets this new phone, and Wanda Sykes is hysterical in this film. But then again, I love her and everything she does.
Jesse.
But this phone ends up taking over this guy's life, and it's an allegory about how we just get so addicted. And not to give away anything in the film, but the first thing, he brings the phone home and he orders takeout. And when he orders the Jexy instead of the phone, I'm not going to say the name because she'll start talking back to me. Jexy says, I'm not ordering that for you anymore because you've overeaten as it is. And no, we're ordering health food for you tonight, and starts ordering health. And he goes, no, I don't want that. I'm ordering health food for you tonight. And you've got to get this film. Everybody, it is the funniest film. Just watch Jexy. So it's funny.
My Siri wakes up. I said, good morning, Siri. And he says, good morning, sexy beast.
Really?
I program that. That's
Really?
the only dating I get.
So you've got your Siri programmed to be a man's voice. Oh, good for you. Okay, that's good to know.
I've got to change it though, because I'd love.
So would that mean that his name would be Cyril instead of Siri?
I think Siri is a kind of name that anybody could have, don't you think?
Oh my God.
I want a British voice, so I'm going to switch over.
Which means wonderful. Cyril would be more appropriate.
I love it.
Cyril?
I'm going to work on this. I'm going to see if I can do that with my, what's her name? Okay. Lisa, you mentioned your former husband and, what you went through. As you've forgiven yourself, what do you think is the best possible attitude to have in this business for anyone who's watching who may have doubts about pursuing a career in this business? If you could go back and tell your younger self anything that you would like to tell them now.
Don't take yourself too seriously. Still make sure that you take time to enjoy life and travel and see things and be young. And I think also what I wish I had known then, what I know now, is, you know what? If this is the gift that you've been given, act upon it and trust that. We're all given a gift, and how disrespectful is it to be given a gift and not appreciate it or not use it? Well, this is a gift we are given, so why you must use it. So to which end, you gave me the perfect segue, Richard Skipper. I have something for you that you'll be getting soon.
Oh my God. She made that for me. Oh my God.
Wow.
I love that.
Well, this is a
it's a redo.
because the last one I had shattered. So So that is wonderful. David,
Rebirth.
what actions did you take this week on your career? Speaking of which, and I know that you are very, your career, you're in the throes of it always, but what positive actions in terms of advancing your career?
I got a lot of the paperwork done that we had to take care of, and I contacted the producer on this documentary we've been working on for years.
Oh, can you talk about that for a moment?
And, My Next Breath. Yes, that's what we have the title as right now. And as of May 1st, which is a month away, we're going full force and getting all of the, who knows when it's going to be done, but we're moving forward on it again. So I'm thankful for that. And it's about a group of actors who are a little different. One is 3 foot tall, one's blind, one's deaf, one has cerebral palsy, one's me. And it's about their mothers, their brothers, their lovers, and how we all identify with each other and the stories. And the question that was asked now, what is it, 12 years ago, 14, is what do you want the most at this moment in your life? And we're going to see what has happened since that time. So
you interviewed someone a while ago, and she, and correct me if I use the wrong terminology, I think they refer to themselves as little people. Am I correct?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
And she and I learned so much from this. I can't remember the actress's name, so forgive me. But she talked about being an actress, walking into an audition, and she said the moment that she would walk into an audition, they would immediately think Wizard of Oz, Radio City Music Hall Christmas Show. They would think of her as Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Do you remember the interview that I'm talking about?
Yes, and she is amazing actress and gorgeous, and I'm going to get her website to give you too. She's amazing.
I would love to interview her because
I will connect you with her. She sings. She's on stage. I'm going to get you all her information.
I was so moved by her because I woke up. I will tell you because she said, "I'm a mother. I'm a wife, I'm a lover, I'm all of these things." And yet that's the way they see me when I walk into an audition. And the other day I saw someone post on Facebook and she said, if you're not handicapped or if you're not this or if you're not that, don't even think about walking into those auditions. Right. And I'm thinking, I remember a time when being an actor was about the human condition.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I had Tanya Pinkins on the show, and go and read her essay about being woke in the theater nowadays. Not what you think she's going to say.
Right.
People are not as woke as they think they are. That's all I want to say. Brilliant. So really great. Christine, based on the week that you've just had, what's one question that you think you need to ask yourself more often?
Well, like this past week, like I said, was pretty much uneventful, pretty quiet.
So there's nothing you need to ask yourself.
Trying to think. Can't really think of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lisa, everybody is posting that they want this beautiful tray that you made for me. So you're going to have to make one as a giveaway.
Right?
I will.
So, Lisa, did you make any new connections this week?
New connections this week. Is that kind of like an open-ended connections?
Connections in the business, connections at work, connections in anything that you do. Connections on Facebook. Did you make a new Facebook friend?
No, I that's why I asked for a little clarification on the word connection, because this is a very new experience for me, directing kids. The connections are on a different level. So the connections that they see me as adult, and I have to embrace them, and have them trust me. Because when you direct, you're asking a lot of the people. You're asking them to open up. You're asking them to give you something that maybe they're not comfortable giving. And that is the connections that I'm learning this week, is how do I connect with these kids who are of middle school age. So they're all kind of, all over the place anyway, and have them trust me so that they can have this experience and have it be something that they're proud of.
That's
I
great.
love that word trust. Thank you for bringing that up today. It's filling me up. Trust in self as well. Yeah.
And David, I'm pulling another page from my calendar for you.
Oh my God. Oh, and before you do, I have to say Katrina Kemp. I didn't say her name, but Katrina Kemp.
Yes.
And she has her own blog show, but I'm going to connect you two.
Please. I'd love to have her on the show. Yes, because she's just amazing. So this one is being playful is a great way to blow off steam when you're stressed. So another self-love action. How could you be more playful today? You could dance around the kitchen after breakfast, watch a silly video and smile on your lunch break, or call a friend and make them laugh this evening. So what are you going to do tonight that's playful? That you can tell us about.
Listen, it's me and Siri lately. That's all.
Or Cyril.
Siri. Excuse me. No. Playful. I've watched certain movies, but just for fun. One thing is I want to see. My brother and I want to see the movie Respect. We haven't seen it yet. So I want to see that.
Today is Aretha Franklin's birthday.
Well, yeah. Oh my God. I heard you playing one of her songs before. I was going, okay, this is it.
That's why.
Dan and I saw the movie. We liked it a lot.
So I think that's what I'm going to do fun tonight, because I haven't watched a movie in weeks, and I'm going to just sit back, have fun watching RESPECT.
Yeah, yep. That sounds like fun.
We've seen it. It's definitely recommended.
Oh, good.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Christine, what are you really good at that might surprise people who know you that don't know that you're good at that?
Oh, boy. Aside from memorizing way too much trivia. Okay. I'm good at imitating accents. And I'm not allowed to demonstrate that ability on the ships, because it's like considered to be bigoted and racist. And they're like, no, it's that kind of humor doesn't fly. So I memorized a lot of musician jokes. Those are safe. But people are also surprised that I can make my own spaghetti sauce from scratch.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Good. And Lisa, who is the scariest person that you encountered this week?
Oh my gosh, scariest person. Well, unfortunately for me, I'm fearless. I'm trying to think. Oh my gosh. I don't think that this week that I have dealt with anybody who intimidates me or frightens me. I suppose that's a good thing in a way.
Good thing.
I sort of take people as they are, and there aren't too many people that I'm flustered by. So
okay. So we're going to do a giveaway, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away because it's Aretha Franklin's birthday. If you haven't seen Respect, maybe I'll pay for you to watch it on live stream, or I'll find a way for you to see it, or I'll get you a CD or something having to do with Aretha Franklin. And then I'm going to ask I've got a random question that I'm pulling up for everybody afterwards. So
Okay.
Here is the draw, and we're going to do that. My hands are up here. Lisa, I have to tell you, and Lisa is my new publicist.
Ah!
So good for you. She's earned a prize this week. So I've got a random question for you because I've got this new game. It's called Best Self, and it's a fun game that I love. And you pull a random question out as an icebreaker question. So the question is, well, I'll start with you, David. If you could switch places with one of your friends for a day, who would it be?
Oh, that's a toughie. Oh my gosh. Can you come back to me? Oh gosh. Okay, I'm going with this flow. Jamie Brewer.
Okay. Now, why Jamie Brewer?
She's such a light, and she's so talented, and her positive outlook on life and love. I mean, I have all that, but I would love to see that. I would just like to see it. I would love to be in her shoes one day. Don't get me in high heels. I've only done it once.
I've done it, and it's not fun.
In San Francisco on Halloween. For a month I ached. But anyway, that has nothing to do with her shoes. But yeah, I thought Jamie Brewer, she's just a joy and a blessing. And I would, if I had to, for one day. Yeah.
Okay. Christine.
Yes.
Now, who would be the friend that you would want to switch places with for one day?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. That is a really, really tough one because I personally would want to just be a better version of me.
Ooh,
Oh, that's good. Well, but throw out a name.
Oh boy. Good question. Trying to think. Probably, if I was going to switch places with anyone, it would have to be like one or two people that I really, really admire in the business. Well, I would say, either Ted Sperling or Michael Cosserin, because
Wow.
they're both musicians I've known since we were all teenagers, and I love they are like amazingly talented. They've both conducted on Broadway, and I mean, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And Lisa?
You. And you know me too well. You know I don't blow smoke. That's just not my existence. But I just think you're so cool. You are so fun. You're so loving. You have such a great outlook on life. I admire you. So yeah, I want to be you for a day.
That's very kind. Oh my God. I hope you guys have had as much fun as I've had for the last week.
Yeah, it was great.
You made us feel like you took me to the point of, oh, this is so much fun. So thank you.
Great. Well, don't go anywhere for a moment. I want to thank everybody who showed up for the last hour. Please leave a comment on YouTube, even if you think you've left comments here, because that will elevate the level of this show today. Share this with your friends. Tell everyone about this. Every Friday afternoon, I do this. I reach out randomly to friends in the afternoon, so you never know who's going to pop up here. It's a lot of fun. It's a surprise. Nobody knows until the day of who's going to be here. So it's a lot of fun. So and I don't know. So it's a
And
fun
we get to meet new friends.
and we get
That's
to meet
true.
new friends.
It was a pleasure meeting all of you.
Yes.
So, and and keep up with what they're doing, and just have fun. I also end every show by telling everyone to go out and do something nice for somebody else without expecting anything in return. Go to your Facebook friends list and reach out to the 7th name on the list and reach out with a phone call. Do this tonight, please. And I don't mean an email message or a private message or an inbox message, but a phone call. And let that person know what they mean to you. Because we've all discussed it here. We don't know what tomorrow holds for any of us. So reach out with a phone call. As my dear friend Sean Moniger always says, we're all in this together, but we're not in the same boat. And I always say, if you're going to go out in a boat, make sure you bring a skipper along. So I'm going to leave the screen, and I'm going to give each of you a chance to give your final word for the day. It can be about anything that we talked about today. It can be about anything that we didn't talk about that you wish we had, or it could just be a final message about what family means to you. I'm going to start with you, David, followed by Christine, and then Lisa. You will have the final word today. And don't worry about how to end the show, because as soon as you say goodbye, Lisa, the final credits will roll. Thank you all, and make it a better tomorrow. Thank you. And remember, family, family, family.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm gonna take that word that was rung in my ear from Lisa today, and trust, because sometimes I don't trust myself enough. And thank you, Lisa, for reminding me about that word, trust, because it's a beautiful, loving word for the family within and without.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed this, and great to connect with people even like this, but like this is way better than some of the Zoom events I've dealt with. And well, I can't think of anything else to say offhand, so Lisa, go.
Thank you, Christine. And Richard, this was a pleasure. The word family, as an Italian American, family is a big deal. And those are not necessarily blood relatives, but just people that you can turn to and trust and just connect with and be there for each other. So from me to you, be blessed and have a wonderful weekend.